Take a second and think about the city you live in. All that concrete, the steel, the glass. It feels so permanent, right? Like it's always been there and always will be. But what if it wasn't? What if our cities were about to wake up? What if these started thinking for themselves? Let's get into it, because we are right on the edge of a technological shift that is completely rewriting what a city even is. So, to really get where we're going, you first have to understand where we are right now. And honestly, the best way to think about our current cities is to see them as these huge, incredible statues. They're built, they stand, and they are meant to last. But the future, that's something else entirely. It's not a statue anymore. It's a living, breathing organism. A city that's built not just to stand, but to adapt. And here's the thing about the statue city, the one most of us are in today. It's rigid. It's a marvel of engineering, no doubt, but it's passive. It only reacts to problems. It doesn't see them coming. A traffic jam happens, then we react. A power grid fails, then we go fix it. It's this beautiful, but ultimately dumb machine. So that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? How do you take this massive, static thing made of concrete and steel and breathe life into it? How do you actually give it a pulse? Well, the answer is in a technological leap so big, it's kind of like inventing a nervous system from scratch. This is the genesis. This is how a city starts to come alive. Now check this out, because this is a really important distinction. We've had the Internet of Things, IoT 1.0 for a while. That's when a city has sensors, a traffic camera over there, maybe a pollution monitor over here. They collect data, sure. But IoT 2.0, that's a whole different ballgame. The city doesn't just have sensors anymore. The city is the sensor. Every single part of it is connected and aware. And here's how it works. It's a simple three-step loop. First, the city senses. It's gathering billions of data points every single second. Then it analyzes all that information right on the spot. That's the magic of edge computing. There's zero delay. And finally, and this is the most important part, it acts. The city responds all on its own, instantly, autonomously, without waiting for some human to press a button. Okay, so now we know how it works. Let's pop the hood and look at the anatomy. We're basically building a biological system out of tech, so let's go ahead and dissect this new urban organism. At the very heart of it all, you have this, the urban OS. Just think of it as the city's brain. It's a central AI that doesn't just watch the traffic, or the energy grid, or the waste management. It conducts all of it, like a symphony orchestra, making millions of tiny adjustments every second. And there's no human conductor needed. So what's a day in the life of this OS even look like? Well, it's rerouting traffic around a crash before it even turns into a traffic jam, like blood flowing around a blockage. It's dimming streetlights in empty areas, almost like an eye closing to rest. It's this constant, intelligent, rhythmic dance of making everything work perfectly. Okay, so if the urban OS is the brain, then digital twins, that's its imagination. This is where the city gets the ability to dream. Get this. For every single physical object in the city, every building, every water pipe, every single lamppost, there's a perfect one-to-one digital copy of it living inside a simulation. And the power here is just staggering. With these digital twins, the city can run over 1 million what-if scenarios every single hour. What if an earthquake hits right here? What if we build a new subway line over there? It can literally see the future, test it out, and pick the best possible path forward before anyone ever breaks ground. But this incredible, almost magical efficiency, it comes with a really profound question. And we have to talk about it. We have to talk about the human cost of creating a perfect system. Because there's always a price, isn't there? What are we, as people, willing to trade for zero traffic jams, for instant emergency response, for perfect efficiency? And that question brings us to a term that really became the center of the whole debate around 2026, surveillance urbanism. You see, for a city to be able to sense everything, it has to see everything. And for it to see everything, well, it has to see everyone. And this is the fundamental trade-off, laid out right here. On one side, you have the promise of a utopia, right? Zero traffic, absolutely no wasted energy, emergency services that show up the very second you need them. But on the other side, what about the right to be anonymous? The right to just get lost in a crowd? That kind of disappears in a city that's constantly watching and can even use that data to nudge our behavior. So where does all of this leave us? It leaves us right at the dawn of a brand new reality, one where the line between us and the world we live in has completely blurred. The final takeaway from all this, the one thing to really let sink in, is a simple but pretty earth-shattering idea. We no longer live in cities. We are living inside the machine, a sentient, thinking organism that we built and that is now, in turn, building us. So the real question left is, what kind of life will we choose to live inside of it?